I've already introduced myself to you all. What's my name again?
Miss
Lovemore, if you're worried about me being sad. I'm not. I promise. I'm very happy. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to get started on our math lesson. You already have your task in front of you and your name is on it, right?
Yes.
So, let's get started. I need your eyes up here and let me explain one little thing about when we talk in our math groups. Okay, so you already know who your partners are. Yes. When you're talking with your partner, how do you listen?
Because like you, the person who's talking, the other person has to stay quiet.
Has to stay quiet. What else should the other person who's listening do? Yeah.
They the other person who's listening should
What do y'all think? Help her out. What else should they do?
look at him.
Look at it. Yeah. If I'm listening to you, I'm looking at you. If I'm not listening to you, or not looking at you, I'm probably not listening,
Looking
right?
at space.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're working together, be sure that you're working together, you're taking turns, and you're listening. You have something else? Taking turns, is that what you're going to say? Oh, go ahead.
You don't talk like the other people's talk.
For sure, for sure. So we're going to get started with this lesson today, and when you are, when I put you in the math here in just a second, you can talk away. But we're talking about math, and we're talking about how to solve the problems, okay? All right, let's get started. So your learning target today, I heard before Christmas that you all were working on fractions. True? You worked on some equivalency and some other things. So today you're going to be learning about comparing fractions, okay? Looking at fractions and comparing which one's bigger, which one's smaller, okay? And so you're going to know you're successful. We can use those models that you have in front of you to compare the fractions. And I want you to be able to, this is a really important part, explain why those models are correct. So you can't just put the models out and say, I'm done. You have to be able to explain. So as you're talking to your neighbor, you're like, we're done. You should look up and go, oh wait, do we know how to explain if she comes by? So you're going to want to be able to explain why the models are correct. Are you ready? All right, so if you flip your paper over, you're going to see the same problem that I have on the board. Actually, two problems. The first one is we're just looking at two fractions, 3/8 and 7/8. And my question is, which is smaller? Now remember, some of you may be looking at that and go, I know already, but we've got to model and explain. So be sure that as you're working, you're modeling and explaining your success criteria. And I want you to write that comparison using your comparison signs, okay? And then on part B, we have Lee has a problem. You see what Lee's problem is? Lee said that 2/3 is equal to 2/6 because the number of pieces is the same. Is he correct? Why or why not? So on that problem, you're also going to be modeling and explaining, but you're also telling me if he's right or not and why or why not. Are you with me? Can you do this for me?
Yes.
All right, I'm so excited. I'm going to be walking around and asking you questions. In the meantime, if I'm not with your group, you're working on solving the problems, modeling and explaining to compare. Ready? All right, let's go. Let's set my timer, and I'm going to be coming around. So tell me about these fractions. What does the 8 tell you? Okay, so you're saying because they're both 8, you can't say they're smaller than the other one, right? Okay, so is it Avery? Avery, so she's saying the 8s are the same, so you can't say the 3 is smaller than the 7. What do you think?
Well, I think that, well, I basically think the same thing because if 3 is smaller than 7, you're asking which is smaller, then I'd say 3, but it would help you if you could tell by the 8 because the 8 are the same.
So the 8s don't really help you, is that what you're saying? So in a fraction, what does the 8 tell you about a whole? That there are 8 holes? What do y'all think? This group, help them out. Does he, 8 parts of a whole. Agree? So do you think you could use these models for me and see if you can find out, because which is smaller? You're saying there may be not either one smaller. So get your fraction pieces out and see if you can show which one's smaller. And if you need to help each other, you may need other manipulatives. So y'all work on that and I'll come back. What are you guys thinking?
We're thinking that 8 and 7
Okay,
And then we get 7 and there's only one left.
okay, so which one do you think is smaller?